Governor Tim Walz has just been hitting the campaign trail hard over the past days and weeks, and today was no exception because not only was he campaigning in Michigan today, but he was campaigning with President Obama, and that certainly packs a punch. That is a dynamic duo, and we saw that dynamic duo play out, not only making the case for Kamala Harris, but taking some pretty aggressive shots at Donald Trump, which I love to see. We need to be on offense in the closing days of this campaign, and that is exactly what Tim Walz was doing today. Not only calling out Donald Trump's lies, not only calling out his cognitive decline, but taking a shot at him and one of his good friends personally, and we are going to see the hilarious way he did that in just a second. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means a lot to me. Now let's get into some of these incredible takedowns from Governor Walz.
But you know what? You noticed? It takes stamina to run for president. It takes stamina to be president. And Donald Trump does not have stamina. He has been rambling more than the normal rambling. He calls it the weave. Donald, come on. We know there's only one weave that you know anything about, and it is not this. It is not this. He's ducked debates, but you can't blame him. When you get your ass whipped that hard, you don't come back for seconds. You come back for seconds. He dropped out of 3 interviews, and his staff, in a moment of clarity and truth, said he was exhausted. Look, I don't care how exhausted he is, because I can promise you he's not as exhausted as the American people are of him.
Governor Walz getting straight to the point, certainly didn't need a weave of his own to call out Donald Trump's weave, but I love that we are making this a message of the campaign to close, how Donald Trump is out of it, how Donald Trump is more erratic, and because of that, he is more dangerous. We need to be talking about not only the damage he could do, but the damage he could empower his stooges to do in our government. It needs to be a part of this closing message, and I'm glad to see that it is. And it's not just calling out what Donald Trump could do, but also what Donald Trump is doing now in his ridiculous campaign stunts. Of course, chief among them was his stop at McDonald's, which Tim Walz called out so perfectly right here.
Over the weekend, he made a little appearance over the weekend. You might have seen this. He went to a McDonald's and dressed up as the drive-thru worker. They found him an apron his size and put it on him. And I was thinking, it is possible he mixed up his weekends and thought that it was Halloween already. He's been forgetting things lately, as you might have noticed. But look, there's something not just nuts, but cruel about a billionaire using people's livelihood as a political prop. His agenda lets big corporations not pay people for overtime and diminishes those very workers that he was cosplaying as. He missed an opportunity, though. Being at McDonald's, he looks much more like Ronald McDonald and the clown that he actually is. Tell me you don't see this one coming from a mile away. And Ronald wears less makeup. You saw it coming. You saw it coming. That restaurant wasn't even open. It was a stunt. Fake orders for fake customers. They even staged the drive-thru. We know that. They won't let you walk through the damn drive-thru. We knew that. They saw that happening. Well, look. Everything about this guy is fake. Everything he does is fake.
We talked about this on Sunday. What was clear from Donald Trump's trip to McDonald's, as much as pundits want to say it was a success for him, is that he looks down upon people who work regular jobs. How he thinks it's a joke, how he thinks he can just show up for 10 minutes, hang out, act like really just an a-hole, and then there's his campaign stop. That's his photo op. No, if you actually cared, you'd be working to improve those people's lives. You would be working to raise the minimum wage. That's what you'd be doing, Donald. But you're not, because you don't care. You think you can just play pretend for a day. And speaking of those who play pretend and think that they can come up or come down from their ivory towers and change the outcome of this election, Tim Walz also took a shot at Elon Musk, and it was just so perfect. And we're going to take a look.
And that's not a joke. But look, I'm not going to waste all the time I'm in. I'm going to talk about his running mate. His running mate, Elon Musk. Seriously. Where is Senator Vance after he got asked the simplest question in the world at the debate? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? And after 2 weeks, he finally said, no, he didn't. That's where he's been spending his time. But that's it. So, look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things. You know it. Think about it. Think about that. That guy is literally the richest man in the world, spending millions of dollars to help Donald Trump buy an election. Now look, they're saying the quiet parts out loud now because Donald Trump has already promised that he would put Elon in charge of government regulations that oversee the businesses that Elon runs. That's a hell of a buy. He could spend billions to make more than 10 billion on the back end. So in other words, Donald Trump, in front of the eyes of the American public, is promising corruption. That's what he's promising you. And you know what? I don't believe he keeps many promises, but he'll keep that one. I'll guarantee you he'll keep that one.
The gloves are coming off. Like I said, we're not holding back anymore. We're going on offense. I love to see it, but Donald Trump clearly does not. He has taken real issue with Tim Walz lately, especially over the past couple of days when we've seen a really aggressive Tim Walz. So we're also seeing a hurt feelings Donald. Oh, little Fifi's so hurt. And he responded to Tim Walz in this clip right here.
Yesterday, Tampon Tim said, you know why they call him that? Because they sell tampons with special legislation in boys' locker rooms. Can you believe it? He says he's a freak. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that.
Really? Is that the best you have? It's just a joke at this point. The type of attacks Donald Trump is even trying to land on Kamala Harris or on Tim Walz or their agenda broadly. Trying to call him some radical individual. Why? Because he wants to make sure that kids feel safe in schools, that kids are fed in schools, things that Donald Trump clearly has never thought about. All he's ever thinking about is himself and attacking his enemies or the enemies from within. A comment that Governor Walz called him out for right here.
I don't want to ratchet up your anxiety level, but it's important to know what we're up against. Just like in any good game, we got to know what the other team's doing. So there's another reason that the stakes are so high in this election, something that I don't think many of us have seen. You hear some version of this from the people in your life, neighbors, relatives, brothers in some cases, who said, look, we made it through the first Trump term. We'll get through a second. This Donald Trump of 2016 is far more dangerous. He is not the 2016 Donald Trump. This is a brand new version. Now look, he is, as Kamala says, he is a very unserious person, but the consequences of putting him back in office are deadly serious. He's talking about sending the military against people who don't support him. He's naming names. Look, I recognize I'm going to be at the top of that list. You think he's stopping with me? He's talking about you. He's talking about using the United States military to go after people who disagree with his idiotic ideas, his unpatriotic ideas, his traitorous ideas, and he's talking about using the military. He talks about the enemy from within. He was given a chance, because it happens, sometimes you misspeak, yes you do. He was given a chance to clean that up. He never takes it back. And this week, J.D. Vance said something I think was really true about Donald on this issue. He said, Donald just speaks from the heart. A cold, grinchy, 3 sizes too small heart.
Donald Trump continues to tell us what he wants to do in the White House. And like I always say, the only time Donald Trump is ever telling the truth is when it hurts him politically. Project 2025. That is a true, honest assessment of what Donald Trump and his stooges want to do in the White House. When Trump says he is the person most singularly responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade, he is spot on, because he did that. The blood is on his hands. And when Donald Trump says he wants to go after the enemy from within, we better believe him and we better stop him. We got to call it out. We got to vote. And that's what we're going to continue to talk about on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.